Hi guys, Radhika here again. So this video is kind of like on a general topic, but it does relate to narcissistic personality disorder. So it's just a realization that I had today, and it might not be something like eureka, but it just came to me, and I completely understood it, and it made complete sense to me, and it kind of helps me understand mm, meditation and letting go and things like that. So if I just thought maybe make let's make a video on it, and it might help you, and it I think it definitely will help those people who are um, the way I am. I am. I feel like human beings can achieve anything if they set their mind to, and so I'm like a completely like a do do kind of a person. I don't just sit around and think that let things happen. That's an attitude some people have, and that's a great attitude. And a lot of people have it if they have very strong faith. And as I told you before, I did not have faith in my life. Um, I mean, I had faith, but it was not based in a religion or in an institution kind of a thing. So I always had faith. I thought things happen and let them happen, but I also used to think that I need to make things happen. And so, based on all these things, I kind of came up with this knowledge, or just data, if you will, the information that I have. Yeah, it's hard to call. I don't want to call it knowledge because it was helpful to me, but I don't know if it's helpful to anyone else. So yeah, it's just information, and you can use it in any way that you want. Yeah, so basically what I wanted to discuss is what is our inside state, what is outside state, and what is the relation between those two, and how it all relates to narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder. So what is our inside state? So if I were to think in these terms of an inside state and an outside state, so I think we all have felt this, that we all have an inside state, and the inside state is basically our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts, the sensations that we feel in our body temperature, our blood pressure, all these anatomical things that are inside our body, and also our ego, our soul, our chakra, all the seven chakra that we have in our body, if you are thinking in metaphysical terms. So all of these are our inside state. And what is our outside state? So our outside state are our surroundings, the people who are around us, uh, the emotions that are around us. So the people who are around us have emotions of their own, so their internal states, um, circumstances around us, our relatives, our relations, our husband, our wife, our parents, our children, the attachments that we have to these people, our house, our job, our car, etc., our the money, the wealth that we have. So all these are the outside state, and then you can go on to say like city, country, continent, etc. Even the environment is outside of us. So basically, what happens is our inside state and our outside state, we are always in a struggle to balance them out, and that's just our property, that's just our nature. I think that's a law of physics, that if you keep like hot water and cold water and pour them both into a glass, at some point the temperature is going to neutralize and reach, and the hot water is going to get colder and the cold water is going to get hotter, and they will reach a point where all of the water becomes the similar, and they come in balance, so they harmonize. So what happens is, knowingly or unknowingly, most of the time unknowingly, we are always in this struggle of getting this balance. And water molecules are energy, right? And we are also energy. So basically, all energy has this property that it's going to try to become one with everything around it. And to become one, it has to kind of become similar. Um, and what happens is, that's what we are trying to do all the time. So just if you look at your life and look at yourself, in this example, so we all go through these states. So if you have a positive inside, if I'm feeling very positive today, and I'm feeling super creative, I'm feeling gratitude for everything that I have, I don't have any stress, I don't have any tensions in my head, I just want to enjoy the day. And so in this case, my inside is positive, okay? And now consider this, that my outside is not positive. Say I woke up in the morning feeling a particular way, and midday, through like say at 12 o'clock, suddenly my boss gets irritated at me, and he or she calls me in a one-on-one or in a meeting, and they basically just shout at me. Okay, they shout at me and they say that you did this wrong, that wrong, etc., etc., etc. So what will happen is, my inside was in a positive state, but suddenly my surroundings became negative. Now I will go into this struggle kind of a space, because the negativity from my boss will come inside me. I will take it inside me, and I'm trying to balance now, because my core was positive today and suddenly I got this negative. So, like I'm going to try to balance it. Now, people balance it in different ways. Some people just let it go, like they will think that, okay, my boss was in a bad mood, so I let it go. Some people take it very personally, and it's not just some people, it's situations. Like I have sometimes let it go, I have sometimes taken it personally. It also depends on what frame of mind in a long term you have been around that day. So if you have been in a positive frame of mind, or if you have analyzed all this, or if you know your boss enough, so there's a lot of factors that go into how you act at on a particular situation. So anyways, so basically I will try to balance it out in that case, and I might do a different thing on a different day. On one particular day I might get angry at my boss because he shouted at me. Another day I might give my boss a break and say that, okay, he's having a hard time. Another time I can actually take responsibility, because I might feel, okay, fine, he shouted at me, but it was for a reason, So yeah, I did screw up, and so he just lost his temper and he yelled at me, and which is okay because he's a human, and usually he doesn't do this. So usually he doesn't do this is the important part, because if he's always doing this, then of course that's a problem. But yeah, we can give each other a break, because we all are humans. So sometimes someone is going to, unload on you, and you also unload on people sometimes. So yeah, so basically that's that's the situation when a person with a positive inside has a negative surrounding. Now, what happens in a narcissistic situation? A lot of times, the scapegoat is the most sensitive person in the group, and that's why the scapegoat is the easiest target. And even if not the scapegoat, all the flying monkeys are also sensitive. And the narcissist is also sensitive, but Let's forget about the narcissist. So the narcissist creates all these negative situations, and what happens is that the scapegoat often feels that the negativity is because of them, because they have a positive inside. And so, to neutralize their inside and their outside, they kind of get confused and they feel that it's their responsibility to keep their surroundings also positive. And that is how people pleasers are born. And that is how a person always takes on responsibility for how everyone else is feeling around them. And such people, they they will slowly dissociate with their internal, with their inside, because if they become too much of people pleasers, at one point they are going to break, and when they break they are going to go into a depression, because they have tried their level best to do good all their life, but they are not aware of this narcissistic situation that is happening around them. So that's the first point. So that was positive inside and negative outside. Now let's go to positive inside and positive outside. So say you are in an ideal situation. You are a positive person, you are with positive people, and you are within a positive kind of an environment. What happens in this? In this, you are completely in resonance with your surroundings. So you are amplifying the positivity, and the positivity will spread. So it will spread, even the it will amplify itself in its vibration, and it becomes so good, it becomes so overflowing that you want to give it out to people who don't have it. And that is very similar to negativity in a narcissist's case, where the narcissist is so filled with negativity that the narcissist cannot keep it inside anymore. So he or she has to give it out and dish it out to other people, and they take it. It's the same with positivity. When positive things are overflowing, it goes out to other people. But only positivity feels good and negativity feels bad. Okay, so negative inside and positive outside. Okay, so say there's a narcissist in a family, and everyone around the narcissist knows everything about narcissistic personality disorder. So, whatever drama the narcissist is doing, whatever blames the narcissist is moving to people, whatever hatred, smear, shame, humiliation, whatever the narcissist is giving out, no one is receiving that. No one, because everyone has their guard up. Everyone knows what the narcissist is doing, why the narcissist is doing it, and how they should not react to it. In such a case, what happens is, over time, the narcissism reduces. It does, it reduces, because when the people around the narcissist maintain positivity, even though the narcissist is always triggering a negative emotion in everyone else, but the people around the narcissist are so strong that they have their positivity shields on them. What happens is, over time, the narcissist realizes that what I am doing is not working. It's not working anymore. And it's not like people leave the narcissist, people stay with the narcissist, but they don't lose their essence, they keep their core. Now, what happens is, the narcissist, because he has a negative inside, it's his ego, it's his soul that is so negative. Mainly, it's his soul that is so negative. And he or she is trying to heal their soul, and they're doing it the wrong way, right? They're doing it by blaming others, and they feed their ego, and they feel that I'm feeling good, but it's a false feeling of feeling good, because they are feeding their ego. So for some time they feel good. It's like eating fast food or eating junk food. For some time you will feel good, but in the long run it's just bad for you. So um, so basically that's how the narcissist works. He's feeding his ego, he or she. And when they are surrounded by positive people, these positive people are not giving him or her his narcissistic supply. So the narcissist might go in a rage or rampage, but after some time, if the narcissist is open enough and not that far down the spectrum of narcissism, they might actually heal. Because these people who are around the narcissist, fine, the narcissist is going in bad moods, but when the narcissist is in good mood, these people who are around the narcissist are showing the narcissist genuine love. And what happens is, over time, the narcissist will realize that this love, it feels so good. So when they say that love can heal your soul, it is true. Love can heal your soul. And the narcissist has a broken soul. They have a broken soul. And that's why they try to feed their ego, because they think that it's feeding their soul, but it's not. It's just feeding their ego. And probably they realize it after they have become malignant. Because until then they keep feeling that I'm feeding my soul, but actually they're not. So yeah, this is what happens to a narcissist who is negative inside and positive. There is positivity outside, around the narcissist. Okay. Now, negative inside and negative outside. So as I said before, a narcissist who's negative inside will try to spread negativity because they are trying to balance, right? They are trying to balance their surroundings. So when a narcissist spreads negativity, and they do see that it is affecting people around them, so it is affecting like their family or their co-workers or their friends, they will feel at peace. They will it's just physics. They will feel like they belong now. They belong because they are in sync with their surrounding. Otherwise they have so much negativity inside, and the outside is so positive. So that's the worst situation for a narcissist in the short run. But in the long run, if a narcissist is around positive people, it's good for their soul, but for their ego it's really bad. So what I understood from all of these examples is that we all are kind of like narcissists in some way, because someday I might feel very irritated by things going on. So maybe I had a bad day at work and I come home and I am kind of irritated at my husband, and I might be irritated at him because I see that my house is not as clean as it should be, as I would like it to be. So I'm going to ask my husband, why did you keep this glass here? Why did you keep the plate there? And I'm going to kind of like put out my negativity onto him. Although this might be in small ways, like just complaints here and there, which is very normal, which human beings do. But if we actually go to the depth of everything, we will realize we are doing this because it's something inside of us that is bothering us, and it's not a plate that he has kept in the wrong place. It's something inside of you that you are putting it out in other ways. So basically that's what I realized today, that we are always trying to balance what is outside with what is inside, and we are very affected by what is outside to what is inside. So, how do people like monks or like realized people who have realized the truth, how do they react? Like, if you think about it, like there are so many people who do so much good to the world, and they are always being blamed and they are always being judged. And how do they deal with it? So the thing is that through meditation, through non reacting, and also through analysis, also through thinking about these things, also through introspection, we can actually monitor our actions, we can monitor our thoughts, we can monitor our feelings, we can monitor everything that is going on inside of us, every sensation that we feel in our body. We can actually monitor it if we are very, very aware of our body, if we are aware of our thoughts, if we are aware of the things that irritate us, the things that tick us off, the things that our ego cannot handle, those kind of things. So if we become very aware of it, we will realize that we can break this cycle of external stimulus to internal reaction. So, if I have a boss who yells at everyone without any reason, and I know that that is the characteristic of my boss, that's just the way my boss is, and it's got nothing to do with me, I will not have a reaction to my boss anymore, because I will feel that's just the way he is, that's just the way he reacts. And what I will do is, instead of trying to change him or change my dynamic with him, I change my reaction. I change my reaction to him. I give a non reaction, I don't react. So, an example for that is if you're walking down the street and a guy, a person on the street, he yells like profanities at you, or something weird at you. Um, you are going to feel like a little bit of his words are going to offend you. Maybe he says something like racial to you or based on your nationality to you. So you are going to feel a little offended, because you are going to find that a little bit weird, that what happened. Okay, and then you walk down the path again, and the second day again, the guy yells at you and calls out some racial slur or some profanity. And then when you reach whatever your destination is, maybe you're going to the office, you reach your office and you talk to your friend and you tell him, did you see that guy near the station? He yelled so and so at me. And your friend might say, yeah, he yelled so and so at me too, and he does that every time because he has like a mental problem. He is maybe he has schizophrenia or something like that, or he's not quite all there, and or he's in deep hatred of the world or something like that. And suddenly your anger or your hurt that someone called you something bad will simply turn into maybe pity or maybe empathy, that that person is not quite all there, he doesn't have all his mental facilities available to him. So that's how we can actually, by understanding a situation, or by analyzing it, or by letting it go. But I actually feel letting go comes only after you have understood a thing completely. And even the sensations that you can only stop them after you have analyzed it completely. At least that's the way I operate. I don't know, other people can operate in different ways. After you have reached that analysis phase and you have completed it, after that you are well equipped to actually break this cycle, to break this cycle of sensation, of getting triggered, of responding, of reacting. And to end that cycle, it does need a lot of introspection, understanding, empathy, forgiveness, gratitude. It requires a lot of it. But once you have kind of gotten the grasp of it, you will feel so much stronger and so much empowered, and you will start operating out of your soul instead of out of your ego. Because all the time we are mostly, whenever we get irritated, it's not our soul that gets irritated, because everything is a part of our soul actually. But when you get irritated, it's because we have this boundary that this is who I am and this is irritating me, and that I comes from the ego. So when you actually understand this and move to the soul, it is very, I wouldn't say it's very easy, but it becomes much more simpler to let things go. It's still not easy. It's still not easy because we still have an ego, we still have a body, we still have this human existence. So we are not completely one with everything yet, but we are getting there. We are at least realizing that I see myself separately than everything else, and how do I break this connection of what everything, how it affects me, and how I keep on going into this cause and effect and this karam and this like a reactive cycle, how I'm just like atoms that are always like reacting to things. So yeah, basically, if we stay in our internal world, we guard it, we monitor it, we don't let anything outside come inside. So that's the thing. If we observe it and we break this link between the internal and the external, we will always be at ease if we are at ease in our soul. So that is the first point. So that's why first we have to do a lot of inner work to mend our own soul, and then we can actually remain there in the mended, in the safe place of our soul. And if we do that, we can actually become problem solvers instead of like narcissists. They are problem creators, and people pushers, or sorry, people pleasers, or all the flying monkeys or enablers, all these other kind of roles that we can define, who are non-narcissists, who are not on the malignant end of the spectrum. They are not problem creators per se, but they are people who get swept up in problems. Like you and I, like we might not create problems for others, but we do get swept up in problems, right? We do get emotional and we get so stressed out. So that's one of the reasons why we get stressed out. And if we actually break this link of the inside and the outside, then we will become problem solvers. That does not mean we will not feel things anymore. We will feel things. It's just that we will learn how to process them in a better way. So yeah, that was this video, and I hope this helped you in some way. And I wish you all a lot of love and light, and please do like, subscribe, and share these videos. Thank you so much. Bye.